We are live. And we're gonna tell those people we are live. Okay. Um, okay, we have somebody joining us. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Yes, you're welcome. I'm just gonna wait till 11 o'clock. 1 minute. Okay, we have people here already. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome to today's live session. Thank you for joining. Please, if you can just say something in the comment section, let me know where you're watching us from, your name. Yes, thank you. I will be waiting. We're just going to wait for a few more people, then we get started. Today's session is going to be a very, very insightful, and yes, we promise we won't waste your time. Thank you, Shegun. I see you from Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. If you don't mind, Shegun, if you can share on your status to people that we are live so they can join us for this session. Okay, thank you. I can see the number has increased. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's just wait for 2 more minutes, then we get started. Thank you all for joining. Okay, the number has increased. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Okay. Just 1 minute and we get started. And for those that are just joining us, if you can please tell us where you're watching us from. And if you don't mind, I would appreciate if you can please share this to your social media, maybe WhatsApp. Yeah, I think WhatsApp and share on your status so people can join, more people can join. Today's session is powerful. And I look forward to this section myself. I'm looking forward to all we've got to share with you also, please. I think the time right now should be um 5 p.m. Okay. All right. Okay. You people should share it on your social media, please, so people can join. Edakun. Yeah. Oh yes, we have a lot of people. The number is skyrocketed. Okay, good. I think we are good to go right now. We're gonna get started. All right. I welcome you all to today's live session. For those that are just joining us for the first time, so I think those are people that I'm probably new to. But yes, you guys, my name is Olamide Mercy, and yes, I would be your host for today's live session. And if you're just joining, please subscribe to this channel because we have a lot of information that we always share concerning studying abroad and so many other interesting videos. Yes. Okay, today we are going to be talking about studying in Italy. And yes, we won't just be talking, just no walkings, like, right? Today we we have a scholar and like a scholar who is studying in Italy. Yeah, so on a fully funded scholarship, which will be share he will be sharing insight with us today. So I will encourage us to stay tuned. Do not like go on and off so you don't miss out on the important details. It's going to be a very interesting, quick, and very, we are going to be just hitting the nail on the spot. So you guys should please pay attention. And yes, just like I said, if you, I would appreciate if you can share it on your status to people that are to others so they can benefit from this. Okay. And yes, without wasting so much of our time, I'm going to bring our scholar for today to the stage. So as you can see, he's yeah, like he's currently in Italy. But yes, let me let him introduce himself to us. Okay. So Scholar Italy, thank you so Scholar Stephen. I said Scholar Italy. Thank you so much for joining us for today's live session. I appreciate you despite your busy schedule for taking time to come and share your experience with us. We really appreciate. So if you don't mind, please can you introduce yourself to everybody watching this session? You're muted. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you, Olamide, for the honor to be part of your live stream.
No
I
worries.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, secondly, well, you might call me a scholar, but is
You
you
are
are
a
placing
scholar.
a lot
You are
of
a
no, no,
scholar.
you are placing a lot of responsibility on me by calling me a scholar, but it's fine. It's fine, anyways. My name is Steven. Omole Adebomi. My name is Steven. I'm a software engineer and I currently study in Italia, studying computer science in Italia. Yeah. So right now I'm a Italia studying computer science at the University of Salerno. Um, let me just tell you one interesting thing about University of Salerno. University of Salerno is the first medical university, first modern medical university in Europe
Wow.
was in University of Salerno. In the entire Europe, that is over, like, actually like over 1,000 years ago. Yeah, the campus is in my university. Yeah, so my university was a medical school initially. So engineering and other what's it called, other field of study were introduced of recent. I think that was like 60 years ago or so. There used to be a medical university and oldest modern university in Europe.
Wow.
So if you tell someone that, if you tell someone about University of Salem and they know about universities, the first thing that comes to their mind is medicine, earth and medical line, this and that. But now we have various field in my
That's great.
university. All right, yeah.
That's cool. That's interesting. So you mentioned Italian. Is it not Italy? Why is it?
Italia.
So why is
That is the actual name, but no
uh
English call it Italy, or it's Italia.
Italy?
Yeah, the actual name is
Italian. Okay.
Italia. That is the actual
Okay.
name of the country.
Oh wow.
But everybody speaks English, so they try to like call it
Italy.
to
So it's
English.
Italy.
So that's it. Yeah,
Is
exactly.
it Italy or Italy?
Italy, Italy,
Oh wow,
Italy,
thank you.
Italia.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So okay, you're currently Italian. Okay. So thank you. Yes. So if you don't mind, can you just tell us your background? Like probably when you were in Nigeria, your bachelor's, where you did
Okay,
your bachelor's.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. That is a nice question. Okay. Well, my background, I okay, it's not something special really though because I it's not the special. I finished from Federal University of Technology, Akure,
Mm-hmm.
the best tech university in Nigeria. Let me
Mm-mm.
be proud of that. So, yeah, best tech university in Nigeria. I finished from computer science, faculty
Computer
of computer
science.
computing, yeah, in
That's cool.
Futa.
Okay.
That was 20. I was meant to finish in 2021, but Nigeria and COVID-19, they gave me pick two, so
Okay.
I
So you
collected
picked
the pick two.
two.
Yeah, so it finished early 2023,
Wow.
and yeah, luckily for me, I was able to like easily transition into master's program without having a delay.
Mm,
I used the word
that's
luck
great. Oh
because
yeah.
yeah, not like an hard work, not just hard work. Of course, there's a place
There
of
was hard
effort.
work, right? You did the work, you
Exactly,
applied.
exactly. There's a place of hard work, but there's also a place of luck. As I always say that in life, luck or grace, which we call it grace, to plays a vital role in
Hmm.
success.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you had folded your hands and not apply, it's not going to meet it. So like
Oh,
opportunity plus,
yeah, of course, definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
So
Just
that's
like
just it.
it's
So
just like I'm
yes,
hungry, just like I'm hungry, and I didn't go out to go and pick food. Not
yeah.
food will not come to.
Same enough.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
That's
Yeah.
good. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, I think we have a lot of scholars on this that has come to this live section from FUTA. So yeah,
Oh.
great Futerian. Me too. I actually went to FUTA, but not like for my bachelor's degree. So I can say I'm a Futerian, partially. Yeah. Right.
You're welcome.
So
You're welcome to use. You're welcome to call yourself a Cyprian.
no, better by far for life. So I would like you to share the process with us before we begin to ask questions. I would like you to share the whole admission process. Like talk about how did you come across the school, how did you apply, the requirement, just an overview of the whole application. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. The truth is, as I said, there is a lot of hard work that was put into it because the process, especially when it comes to countries that are like non-English speaking countries or maybe European countries, is actually a lot of processes. Yeah,
Mm.
every country has its own up and down because even US too has its own. Yeah. So in this one, you're not even reaching out to a professor. The issue, the energy, you are keeping the energy for post admission, not
Oh,
not admission this time around in Italia.
so the
The
admission is
energy
not
is
really
post
like a
admission.
stressful thing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so how I started was first of foremost, I joined the community of
Okay.
what's it called, like Nigerian scholars in Italia.
Before
So
you
when I
applied.
joined, not like before I applied, I joined. Actually, I didn't know anything about Italia, to be honest, because the thing is, there are a lot of countries, and if you don't know some things, you just keep applying to schools blindly if you don't have deep knowledge of it. That is how it is, and that is what kills a lot of people. They just apply to countries blindly. Imagine using the same approach you use for US, or using it for France or for Italia. Like it might not really, really, really work. Of course, if it works for you, that is luck. If it does not work, that is not a surprise. Yeah. So I joined the community early last year. That was where I got access to the opportunity, like openings and the likes. And the interesting thing is that there's a LinkedIn page that they post openings, like
Wow.
openings. So how Italy works is that for every admission, every school make a publication of the admission opening. That's how
Mm.
Italian schools work. So they call it call. So call for admission. So once they make a publication, then you go to that site, you sit on that site, then you read the publication, the requirement for that same year, not for previous year. For that same, you read the requirement. Because at times it changes. You read the
Okay.
requirement about the admission, what they require and everything, and then they give you the instruction how to apply for it. And another way to also do is that in Italia there's a site that they use, just like in Nigeria we have Jump. Jump manages all admission into university, but in Italia it is called Università.
Mm.
Universe Italy.it, Universe Italy. So that is where they manage all what's it called, all admission, enrollment, whichever that happens across all university. So if you go to the universitaly.it, you see you see some search, like a search part of it that asks you, okay, enter your course name, then enter language, course of instruction, and the likes. And then once you click on search, then it fetches out all universities that are offering your course in
Mhm.
the country. And then from there, it takes you to the university website, and then you can read if they have an open call or not.
Okay.
Oftentimes, opening in Italia happens between January
January. Okay.
and towards, once it's, of course, if it's going towards April, May, it's getting late already because you have to use it by September. So
Okay. Yeah. So it's
this,
only September resumption. Okay.
yeah, for September is of that same year. So it opens oftentimes by January. Of course, some schools open at December, but only few. Some maybe December, early December, but only very, very few of them. But they open by January, and then they close. They start closing from February, March, April. Some schools are still open,
Some schools
but
are still opening. Sorry, some schools are still open right now.
yeah.
Okay, good.
But as from towards April ending May, you know, admission is you might not really see openings again, because even if you see openings, those openings are like leftover.
No
Maybe there's just
funding.
yeah, leftover, maybe five people that they just want to admit this and that and likes. So admission process, admission period is between January to
Mm-hmm.
March, April, May, at most May. And I know some schools might open by June. I actually doubt it, but January, February, March, May.
Okay. All right.
That's right, January, February, March, April rather. Yeah. So the first step about admission in any school, anywhere, you have to look for the admission opening. So once you get the admission opening with the requirements, what they require, basically what is required in Italian universities are your transcript, your transcript, your academic CV,
Okay,
like the
CV.
CV Academy are the same platform, but it is advisable to use Europa standard. There's a platform that you can create free CVs, which is Europa dot. I'm trying to let me look for the URL. It's a simple. Anyone can just type on Google Europa CV. Then you see the
Okay.
it's
Okay,
an
I
official.
think I know that. Yeah, Europass. Yeah, that format we've talked
Europa, yeah,
about.
exactly. Yeah, it's an official thing. So it's advisable to have a CV in that format. Though even if you don't have it, it's not a problem, but it's just advisable. What doing is what doing well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your academic CV, your academic transcript, then motivation letter, which is all about talking about what motivates you into the university to apply for the university. Talk about your motivation, your post study. Just it's similar to SOP that we have in the US, but it's just something short, maybe 1,000 letters or 500 letters, depends on the requirement of the university. Yeah. So then, letter of recommendations. The interesting thing is that not all universities in Italia ask you for recommendation letter. Not all, but some will ask you to submit. They will ask you. Most of them will tell you enter your email of your recommenders, just like the same way that it is done in the US.
Yeah.
So I know it's only UK that you really don't submit it yourself. You can even but
Yeah.
yeah, you put in email of your recommenders, this and that, and they send an invite to them. So as I said, letter of recommendation, academic CV, academic transcript, what is it again? Academic CV, academic transcript, letter of
Yeah.
recommendation, motivation letter, then any other
Certificate.
document, maybe your certificate, though nobody cares about your certificate anyways.
Transcript is in. Yeah.
Exactly.
So far, you have your
So
transcript. You can always. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So those are the important details, important requirements in admission in Italia. And if they ask for extra information like maybe English proficiency, because I know some universities now are asking for English proficiency, and the reason why they're asking is because now a lot of people are now applying to Italia. So they want something to like cut short, you know. All
Yeah.
these are just like scope,
Just make
they're
it
just
stricter
like saying,
and like the
uh so
requirement. Yeah. So
exactly.
like just few people will be applying. Yeah.
Exactly. So some you want to ask for, but if they ask, I think you can always send them an email, like you clarify yourself. But I know a school that will not easy to you. I think Investor Bologna, either you send them email, no. So you can send them an email like to clarify yourself. Nigeria is an English speaking because you have to clarify yourself because even they're not they don't speak English, so just clarify yourself. So that is just like an extra requirement. And if there are any other extra requirement that they might want from you, yeah, we see it in the application. And one important thing in admission here is that you should only apply to courses that are taught in English.
English.
English here is called English. So it only apply to courses that are English. It only apply to courses that are taught in English. You might see your course
Interesting.
and to read it and be sure that this course is English taught. Because if it's not English taught, you are going to be rejected automatically. There's no even point. Yes, because how do you want
That's
to
a
survive?
good one. Thank you for sharing that.
How do you want to survive? So it has to be English taught. Yeah, there's so many. Your course may be in a particular university, but it's not English taught. Then just lock up and find another university. I
Yeah.
don't have choice. Yeah. So it has to be English taught. So that is very important when looking for university here, looking for admission, ensure that the course is taught in English. If there are some of the university sites might be in their language, they might not even have. I think most of them used to have like option to switch language. But if they don't have, you can use your browser translator to translate and make sure that it is English taught, even by the flag, because they put the flag there, British flag. I think British flag, they put it in front. So if you are seeing the British flag, you know that this is English. But if I seen green, white, red, that is not English. That is Italiano. Italian
Okay.
thought, and it's a waste of time if you apply for that. So that is all about the admission basically. Then for the scholarship, I know this is where a lot of people are very, very interested in
Yeah.
a lot of people are very interested in. So the interesting thing about scholarship in Italia is there are actually a lot of scholarships. That's interesting. But
Yeah.
just have like how will I say you have to like do it in a smart way. Yeah. First, we have let me just break it down to different scholarships that are available here. First, we have the university scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Second, we have the regional scholarship. Regions. Yeah, they use region. Region is like just like in Nigeria, we have southwest, southeast. Those are region.
Okay.
Nigeria has 6 regions, but yeah, I think they have like 21 or 20 something regions. So there's something regional scholarship. Then there is I mentioned university scholarship. There's regional scholarship. Then there's government scholarship. And then
Okay.
I think there are other scholarships like what's it called? Third party thought scholarship like innovation, like all the third party scholarship. I'm not really sure of that. Then there's also departmental scholarship, but that one falls under university scholarship
Okay.
department because a department can offer you a scholarship. Oftentimes
Okay.
maybe PhD, all this PhD, yeah. So that is it. Another interesting thing is that if you are on scholarship here, it's not as if you'll be going to class to lecture, to teach. No, they don't really demand. What they demand from you is you pass your exams and you meet the minimum grade for the next semester. That's what they need. If you don't meet it, whichever scholarship you apply to, you are off.
Hmm.
That's it, yeah. So let me just explain quickly each of the scholarship. Now, oftentimes we know that scholarship can either be merit based or financial merit or academic merit based.
Yeah.
In this scholarship I just mentioned, regional, university or department, government, whichever is that, regional university or department, government, then other third party, you know. So now the regional scholarship is financial merit based, yeah, but the other ones are
Ah.
often times
Merit.
academic merit based. Now let me explain what the financial merit base is. Yeah, in this place, there's no there's like class of like financial earning. People that earn below a minimum amount, they consider them as Yeah, I don't need to mention it, but you know what I want to say.
I get you.
Those people, they give them access to regional scholarship, like a certain amount, oftentimes I think 8,000 euros. Then, white people that earn above a certain amount, they have a little quarter than 8K. Then like
Okay.
that, that's how it is down here. Okay, so in that region, you have to submit your financial income document. Financial income document is like a document that states the income of your family, how much your father earns in a year, how much your mother earns, how much everybody earns. If you know, of course, we earn in naira, but when you convert it to euros,
It's
it's
not.
nothing. So
It's nothing.
that makes you like almost qualify for the because
Financial.
the minimum, yeah, because the minimum amount they set there is a big amount in Nigeria. It's a
Mm.
big amount in Nigeria. So that is it, you know.
So I
So
think
that's like
basically an average person will qualify for that
yeah,
scholarship.
yeah,
An
from
average
Nigeria, yeah.
person, yeah.
From Nigeria is called Nigeria is named as a middle it's Nigeria middle income. I think low income, yeah. I think Nigeria is middle income and middle income. So oftentimes people from low income and middle income they take advantage of it very well. So that's all
Mm.
about the regional scholarship. There's still something I will still talk about on the regional, but I will talk about it later. Then for the university scholarship is oftentimes academic merit. In fact, you might even do an interview with the university. You
Mm.
might, you might have to do interview with the professor or whichever, like that. Then for the government scholarship, now that one is extremely academic merit. Now it's called they call it MESI. Now, the another interesting thing is that in Europe, most European countries have government scholarship. There's Spanish government scholarship, there's Russian government scholarship,
Yeah,
there's France
different.
government, yeah, most of them. So Italy to us, Italian government scholarship, which you apply if you apply. But most of the time they go for the best candidate, only they like first class Nigeria. But that does not discourage you from applying. But
Yeah.
that don't be over optimistic because
Mhm.
no. So the requirement is you must have a good grade, okay? And then another requirement which might cut off a lot of people is age.
Oh,
Now
there's
the
age
maximum
limit.
age is 28.
Okay. For
So
masters.
for my essay, so you already know your answer like this. You already know whether you qualify or not. So maximum of 28, and must be one of the best students in your in your class.
Very strong academic background. Okay.
Exactly, because they pick a few people, especially in a place whereby that is dominated like Nigeria, that a lot of people will apply. So, it's more competitive from Nigeria than other countries in Africa. So it's a lot of much more competitive. So that is how the what's it called, the MIC works. So
Okay.
often the MIC opens in June. Actually, it opens very late, and the reason why they make it in June is that you have decided which university you want to go for, because of course you must
Just
have gotten an admission for you to
admission.
apply. So you've decided, everything has been done, and then within 1 month you get everything. It's very very fast. Within 1 month, everything, you do an interview. They invite you for an interview in Abuja, in Nigeria. Yes, they invite you for an interview in Abuja embassy, where you do an interview there. So
So it's
it's
like a
within,
physical interview.
yeah, a physical interview. They invite you to come to Abuja for a physical interview.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they are looking for, yeah, it's government money, so you
So
must put in
no,
the.
like yeah, so that's like the same with the visa process. So that one goes with the visa process, right?
No, 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 it's not.
So that's
They're
something
entirely different.
that's
They're
just for
entirely
the
different
scholarship.
things. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
just for the scholarship.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
I
entirely
get
different thing. I will still talk about the visa process quickly. They're entirely different thing. So that's all about the Macy. Maximum age of 28. It must be with the top.
and have a strong academic
Yeah,
background.
and not just only academic, maybe like a balanced. You get.
Yeah, I
Then
get
another thing also is that age is actually, they say age is a number. Age is not a number. Oh. Age is not just a number. To be honest, age really, really matters. Yeah, even for university scholarship, that they might not really talk. They might not put it there that minimum of. They might not even put age there. But to be honest, they prioritize a 24,
it.
25 person over 31-year-old person for scholarship.
Really, that's good to know
I
that.
think it's normal thing everywhere.
Yeah.
I think in almost everywhere is normal thing. So imagine if there's a slot, let's say there's 5 slots for a scholarship, and then there are like 10 people that qualify after those sorting. Then maybe they pick age. You know,
Yeah, to pick
it's
the
not.
younger.
Yeah, it's not really their fault because they believe that someone that is younger has less responsibility, and we maximize it, not take advantage of it, maximize it. But if when they know that someone that is old, right, maybe that person has a family, that person, instead of that person to focus on school, that person went to also even on scholarship. Those are things that they think about, and these are things that happen. So
Right.
it's like wasting their money, and so that is it. So age
Okay.
really, really matter, but it should not discourage you from
Applying. Thank you for
sure.
sharing that. Yeah, so like
Definitely.
you talked about the requirements, you talked about the scholarship. So like I just want you to give a quick overview of everything before we go to just question and answer. So like after the getting your scholarship,
Okay.
like so what next after? Like you
Okay.
go for
Okay.
interview, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Now, uh, let's say you have an admission already with a university, yeah, and then you apply for the scholarship. Yeah, before you also apply for the scholarship, you need to know the amount the scholarship is going to give. But they used to specify what it covers. For some, maybe 2,000 euros. For some 6,000 euros. For some, it cover food, feeding, everything. Even for some, it cover flight. Like the
Wow.
Maisi, like the Maisi is everything,
Wow.
everything. And then there's also another scholarship that I forgot to mention, Erasmus. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Oh,
I know
Erasmus
it's
is
still in,
also
yeah, Erasmus, yeah, Erasmus scholarship too. So Erasmus and Maisi, they are like they're almost like the same, and they're
okay.
both, yeah. So Erasmus too is another opportunity, but that one is Europe generally. There's also another scholarship opportunity for anyone that wants to apply for scholarship here too. So now, if you apply for a school, I think I used to advise people that before you apply to any school here, you need to check if the school has scholarship by checking
Okay.
their past on their website, checking their past course if they've opened scholarship before in last year. Now, don't just apply and wasting your time. And another thing also is that here we have north and south. The north part are the big people, the rich, but the downside is things are expensive there. And that downside is that, yeah, is the big people, like just like Lagos and Abuja is for the big people, but things are expensive there. And that thing is that schools there don't really give scholarship like
Okay.
that.
Thank you. Yeah.
So oftentimes scholarship comes from the schools in South.
Okay.
I know schools in North like Milan, University of Milan, University of Padua, Bologna. They don't used to give scholarship like that. Even
Like
some don't even give. I think University of Verona has scholarship, but few people. It is not Verona, Venice. Venice popular. popular place. So that is it. And also another thing also is that it is advisable to apply to universities that are not really, really very popular like that. Because a lot of people, to imagine you apply to University of Milan, of course, a lot of people apply to Milan. Of course, a lot of people who apply to University of Milan, Milano Bicuna. Yeah, I think it's more than one university. I think Milan has two or
three
yeah,
campuses.
there's another one in Milan. It's more than one. But whichever it is, a lot of people are applying for it. They're applying to University of Rome, Rome, Veto, and Togato. So I'm trying to remember the name. A lot of people apply for it. So it's just advisable to apply to schools that are not really popular that are good. And the thing, most schools are good there. Most schools are good. They may not be in 50 something in world ranking, but I'm very sure they are in world ranking in top 1,000. Maybe some might be in 200, 100 plus. The schools are actually very sound.
Oh, nice.
So these are things that you need to consider when
Now
applying.
I'm
And
applying.
also, some schools they ask you for application fee. Now, the one funny thing now is that this year a lot of schools really ask for application fee unlike last year. Because
Oh,
last year I know a lot of schools were free, but this year you just be seeing 10 euros, 20. I see there's one school that I see 150 euros. And they
wow.
and I reject to
Oh,
what 150 euros is a lot of money.
yeah.
That should be like 170, $160. That's a lot of money. So they can still
Wow.
reject you on it. Yes, it's more than dollars. So they can still reject you on it. But the reason why they're doing is that they want to reduce the people that apply to schools. Not as if they need the money, they just want to reduce it. Because a lot of
Yeah.
people apply. They need to reduce, they need to shrink the application. So if you know that you qualified for the school, I want to give it a shot and pay. But I'm not saying you should pay 150 euros. It's advisable it's around 50 euros. Just split your money across other schools. They can reject you. Possibility that they reject is very high. That is it. Then also one important thing is that if you're applying for school, make sure that your academic transcript match with the course. Yeah, they look at the courses one by one. They are very serious with it. Yes, they are very serious with it. You might even see on the site on the side that okay, might see they release some courses there. Make sure that those courses are in your transcripts. If they're not there, see, even as I am, I applied to schools in computer science. They rejected many of them. And the reason is there are some things that they still want that I may not have.
Yeah,
Make
so
sure
you're
that
trying to say like those courses that you see on their website requirement, you have to have taken those courses, right?
exactly,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. And nothing like when I come here, I will go and take it. Nothing like that. Nobody has time for you for that. So that is it. So they are very serious of that. So make sure that if you're applying, you plan it properly.
Okay.
Then also let me just tell you one of the interesting things here is that the okay, should I talk about the life? Okay, do let me talk about the life here.
Yeah, we're
Let's
still
finish
going to
the
get
main.
to that. You're still going to get to that aspect.
Yeah, let's finish the meeting. So
Yeah.
now I mentioned, if you remember, I mentioned the site called Universitally. This is like Jump. So
Mm-hmm.
any admission that you gain, the university will tell you to go and be enroll. We call it enrollment, which is apply on Universitally and put your information, just like
Wow.
Jump. So once you do that, now the university will now send your details to the embassy of your country, in your country. Now, let's say you are in Nigeria, they can send it to Lagos or Abuja, depending on which one you specify in the Infertility platform. So they ask you to pay after admission. However, some schools will tell you that don't apply on our site, just go and PNO directly. They will answer, we send it to your embassy or not. If you are not qualified, they won't send it, they will cancel it. That means they rejected you. That's, some schools do that, but most of them you apply on the site. Then after that, after they give admission, they now tell you to go and enroll on university sites. Okay.
Mm. Yeah.
So that's how the enrollment works here. So the university is it's communicating with your school, with the embassy in your country, and
Mm-hmm.
you. So it's like linking two of you together. Yeah. So now what happens after admission and scholarship? Good question. Now you now have to do, as I said, if you remember, I said the stress, the stress. Let me use the word wahala here is post admission, not even admission. So now you have to do something called authentication and legalization. Now, authentication is you take your document to the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs in your home country to satisfy your document that yes, you actually finished from university and you did not use mago or you did not use. So that's
Okay. Yeah,
because
we know.
if Nigeria were to be a very good country, they will not be asking you for all these things. That is honest truth. But they ask you to do it. I think US also. I'm not sure. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
sometimes evaluation, yeah, West and all those things.
Uh,
Yeah, I know
So
about that. Yeah.
So you go to Abuja to do authenticate your document, and that document you're not authenticating it for Italia. You're just authenticating your document generally because you can use it for any other country. Because other countries like Germany, I think Germany and Spain, they start you do authentication for them too. So many
Mm.
countries in Europe, almost all of them you do authentication. Even Chinese, I think Chinese too, and like you dedicate your document legalized. So after you dedicate your document, you now take your document to the embassy of of that country in your country. Now this time we're talking about Italia. You take it to Italian embassy, consulate, which is Lagos, because the one in Abuja they don't want to do legalization. They're not going to legalize the document. It's just like authentication, but that one they want to confirm that yes, you actually
Yeah.
authenticate
Okay. But,
the signature because they know the signature and everything, you know. So they legalize it there. Now, the authentication basically is you take your academic transcripts, your certificate, university certificate, because you need it, then your WAEC certificate, because if you're applying for masters, because that WAEC certificate is used to is what they use in Ministry of Education to, yes, that this guy did WAEC and enter university in the right. Then
Okay.
also the certificate, which is done in Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja. So
Okay.
everything, let's say the amount of everything should go like, let's say 30,000 or 40,000, 50,000. It depends on who does it for you, or if you do it yourself, or if you use an agent.
Okay.
Another thing is that you have to tell your university to send confirmation, verification of result to the Ministry of Education. Your university knows all these things. So once they tell you, they know
Okay.
who to send it, but you can also give them the contact information which they send it to, just to authenticate your documents. Once that one is done, you now take it for legalization. You should book an appointment on the Lagos and Consulate platform. Lagos and Tala Consulate Lagos, that site. You book an appointment for legalization where you legalize the document. For legalization of document, you pay a lot of money because it is charged in euros. But they try to like use, they don't, it's not as if they change the current exchange rate anyhow, but just use tax. I think for now they might be using 1,800. Before it was 1,500, but I think they switched to 1,800. When I did mine, I paid 49,500.
Wow.
So now I think it's 59 something based on 1,800 exchange rate. So they legalize the document. If you are, there's a document that you download on Infactally, which is called Pierromate Summary, which is like a document that shows that you have been enrolled. So if I've taken your enrollment summary to the embassy, to the consulate in Lagos, they will not charge you for academic, you know, yeah, they not charge you for academic documents, but they will charge you for non-academic document, which is a birth certificate and then other things like maybe marriage certificate, death certificate, or which, yeah, because if you're married too, and maybe you're talking, maybe you want to, your sponsor this and that, you might want to take a marriage certificate and the likes. It depends. So once you do that one, then once that one's done, then you can now go and apply for visa.
Hmm.
So now the minimum requirement for visa, the minimum requirement of fund in your account is 6,100 euros, because that is the amount that they assume we 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 do for you here. And the thing is, here is cheap. Italia is cheap. Yeah, like the things are cheap. Like here is cheap compared to UK and other countries. Also, I think countries that are also nearby, as I heard, I think Germany and Spain, they're also cheap. Not, but like still within, or like, because school fees here are like 1,000 euros, 500 euros. Imagine. You cannot pay 500 euros in UK. UK is 22,000 pounds, 20,000 pounds, 15,000 pounds. But school fees are 500 euros, 1,000 euros.
Wow.
Maximum, yes, let's say 2,000, or private university. That is if it's that is even if it's a private. And some is even free. Some will not even ask you for school fees. 200 euros, 100 euros, so they're very, very cheap. So they assume that 6,100 is what is your living expenses. They assume because you see rent of 300 euros in a month, or 400, let's say 400 euros times 12. So they're feeding. So it's understandable. So the embassy wants to make sure that yes, you have 6,100 euros to present
Okay.
for first year and second year. And how can you present it? The ways you can present it is if you have a scholarship, and that scholarship is covering 6,000, minimum of 6,100 euros. So let's say you have a scholarship of 2,000 euros. That means how much is left? 4,100 euros, which is what you have to go and look for the visa. Those people are very strict. They are not, they don't joke, because they know a lot of people apply. So that's how the visa is. You apply, you submit the document, your information, your bank statement, all those
Financial
normal
document.
visa things, all those normal visa things. And then the visa can take long. It depends. If you're on scholarship, like Erasmus, MyC, they can even give visa within 1 week or 2 weeks. But if you are self-fund, the
Yeah.
thing is, these people, they can delay you for 3 months, especially when they see that there's suspicion in
In your
your bank
document.
statement. Yeah, let's say you go and carry 20 million into your account, like 2 weeks to the submission of, they will delay you, because they want to know if you are going, and if you remove money from that account, they will know. Yes, because of course, there are people that work in bank that do all those things, so they will know those things. You just have to do it cleverly and I have to do it intelligently. Okay, and if your scholarship is much easier for you because you don't really have much to worry about. What you just have to worry is money for flight, which you put in your account, the money for settlement, all those settlements. Because of course, Naira is so messed up. So by the time you convert your money, there is nothing. Everything will finish within outside this.
Hmm.
So that is just how the process here works. First,
Thank you.
find
Yeah.
admission on university, or you can follow the Nigerian scholars in Italia and link the page, which they post. There are a lot of openings that they've posted there. There's some people that just dedicated Nigerians, trying to like give back to the community, give back to like, they post like admission openings, there even scholarship. But scholarship you have to be the one to look for it yourself. But they post admission openings every you see a lot of them. So apply to university admission. Then secondly, look for scholarship. Then third, dedicate your document. Then fourth, sorry, third, PO on university, PO met. Then third and fourth, authenticate your document if you have not done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Then release your document after if you have not done it before. Because if they reject your visa, you can use the authenticated and legalized document in the following year. No issues. And there's another thing that I forgot. Translate your document. Translation.
To
Yeah,
Italy,
hmm?
to
Yeah,
Italian language.
yeah, you translate your document before dedication because what you're submitting for dedication is your authenticated document and the corresponding translations. I forgot to mention it.
Very
Yeah,
important.
there are like people that from embassy, the embassy have translators that you can pay and they do it for you 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 40,000. It depends on how much. It's not really expensive. So you
Many
translate your
documents.
document to Italian also. So English say and Italiano must present them at the embassy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that's how it, it works.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you
basically.
so much for sharing that. That was very insightful. So I think if somebody out there wants to apply for this, they have an idea of how to go about the whole thing, the way you search for schools, the way you like get your application, then apply for the scholarships, the way you describe the scholarships, then translation of documents, the interview, and the visa process. Thank you so much. That was really, really like you went into details to share that with us. I really appreciate that. So, do we have any questions from the audience? Oh, somebody has. Oh, somebody says, Stephen, oh, blood of Jesus Christ says, Stephen, oh. Yeah, somebody asked that please help us to write the complete web address for the university admission call. What's that? So, I think you mentioned about the admission call, the address for the university admission call. Which one was that?
There is no address for this admission call. What I mentioned is I'm trying to convince, but I'm trying to like clarify. What I mentioned is Italia has a site just like JAMB that manages
Okay. Okay.
admission within the country, but there's an extra feature which is you can search for openings. You can search for schools that have your course, not openings now. That has your course.
Mm-hmm.
JAMB does not have it. I think JAMB to also have JAMB Bokyo. Yeah, but Nigeria one is
They don't use it.
there's always website. I think I don't know, but just like Bokyo too is on the university. Let me try to if I can type it. I don't know. I don't know if I can. If there's a place I can type it. Yeah. Okay. So it's called Universitally. UNIVERSITALY.IT. So that's where you see
Sorry, go
schools
again. UNIVE.
universe
Uh-huh.
universe, but you remove the E at the end of the universe, you change it to Italy, sorry, Italy.it. And
Yeah.
also, any school website they are checking, make sure that the website is .it. If it's on .it, you're either in another school page or you're on scam page. So if the thing is on that IT, you're not in an internal university website. Nah.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's very important. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah. So I think Sunday you can ask your question again. We can't see the question. We can't see the questions. I personally I have a lot of questions for you. Like, but I'm looking at the time because I actually promised that you're not gonna exceed
Ah,
the
no
time.
problem. No, no, no problem. No problem. No problem.
Yeah. So looking at what's Sunday you can ask your question again. Okay, we can't find your question, and I'm just gonna so you talked about the types of scholarships, the different various type of scholarship that you have in Italy, right? It has been answered. Okay, okay, yeah. Sorry for that. So I think his question has been answered. So yeah, you mentioned some scholarship, and so I would like to ask, the scholarship covers like the cost of living, tuition, and living expenses. So to say, just
Okay.
to know, yeah.
Okay. As I said earlier, that these people are so straightforward. Just like admission, tell you requirement. So in scholarship, how they tell you, they tell you what it covers. For
Mm-hmm.
some, it may be that they will give you cash, maybe
Oh.
2,000 euros or 5,000 euros. And for some, they will tell you that they will give you the even anything that is covering. They will come out. They will give you the like numeric equivalent of it. So they tell you, okay, they tell you maybe this one will cover for accommodation. Of course, if it's coming for accommodation, you have to live in the university accommodation, of course.
Mm,
So maybe accommodation, feeding. Some they might tell you that okay, to cover accommodation plus feeding for flight. The most important thing is accommodation and feeding anywhere. If you have a place to sit, a place to sleep, and something to eat, every other thing is not a problem.
yeah.
That's just the truth. So, and those are the most important things everywhere. Accommodation. So most of the
Okay.
time they will tell you most of the scholarship actually covers accommodation. They put it there, accommodation, feeding, maybe stipend, like mine has stipend. Yeah, it also have stipend too. Like it will have stipend. Yeah,
Yeah.
I if the scholarship that is covering, if it's a full scholarship, that's stipend. I think some too, maybe flight. But that one is rare. But basically it's just feeding and feeding, accommodation, where to sleep, what to eat, you know. Then stipend for your transport. Transportation is not expensive here. For transportation, clothing, this and that. So that's it. You see it
Oh.
on the scholarship call, the amount, and you also see the number of people that they want to give. They will put it there.
Mm,
Some they will put 10 people, but it does not stop you from applying. That is the thing. If it's 10 people, still apply, even though it's two.
still
But
apply.
if it's one, you know, but
You
that
might
is
be the
so
one. You might be the lucky one, right?
maybe you might, but you have to put in the best application.
Mm-hmm.
So they put it there, number of people, even some they put it there that okay, 10 people or 15 people from Africa, so number from so country, they even some will put it there. So you see everything, the number of people that they want, that they will award it to, everything, you put it's there. And they only renew it in the following year if
Oh.
you meet the minimum grade, not financial merit. Now, sorry, not financial merit, academic merit for renewal. Whether it is regional, any scholarship here, the renewal is always academic merit. Whether you
Mm.
come in through financial merit, it's academic merit. If you don't do well, they will bounce you away. Right?
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, so I want us to talk about this. Probably we're going to still have another session for that one, not now, because I like talking about the lifestyle. Not that was going to be another lifestyle. But yes, to the audience, if you have any question for Sir Steven, Scholar Steven, please ask your question now. Yeah, rounding up with this session. If you have any questions. So far, Scholar Steven has talked about the admission process that you need to like know when the schools are calling for application, know check the requirements. He talked about the requirements. If you are just joining us, he has mentioned that earlier. You can always watch this section, it's been recorded. Then he shared some information about the whole process of you like submitting, legalizing your document. That legalization comes after admission, right? Or before admission? Those authentication
For you to have legalization, for legalization, you have to put in your enrollment summary, which is from
admission.
admission. Yeah,
Okay. So you have to have your admission first. Then so somebody is saying something in the comment section. I'm sorry. What this guy? Sundays Aziz. Okay. Okay. So then after that, he talked about the visa process and yes. So I think basically for somebody like me that do not know anything about Italy or Italian, right?
yeah.
Italy.
Ah,
You guys understand what I'm saying? So for someone like me that doesn't, I think I have a very good idea and like of what the whole process is like. And thank you so much, Scholar Steven, for sharing. I don't know why like a lot of people they are not online right now. They will come later and be like, hey, please what did Steven say? What did it? How can I do this? How can I do that? But now we are sharing the information. But yes, I think they can always like make reference to this video to watch later. And yes, Scholar Steven, I would like to make a request on this live session.
okay.
Yes, so please, I think we should still have a session again to talk about to answer so many of my questions. Because if we should go on, we would probably be kicked out of this stream because we only have just like a limited time. So I don't want us to exceed some of them. So I'm asking that we are going to like still come back and share more about the studying in Italy because now you've talked about the admission process, which is the most important thing. Very, very important. Yeah, but we also like to learn more about yeah, the studying in Italy. If I want to study in Italy, so many things I would like to ask. Yes. So somebody said I applied for Intermars Italian, but I have not heard from them. Like, do you know anything about that? No, right?
Intermat. I've heard about Intermat before.
It's under
I think it's
Erasmus.
Erasmus. Yeah,
Yeah.
Erasmus. Yeah, it's under Erasmus. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think they've started giving out applications, so you should chill. Yeah. So for
Okay.
Daniel, they would probably get to you. So yeah, you should chill. So so Italy, what's the capital of that country? Rome, right? What's
Wow.
Rome? Okay, so how close are you to Spain? You know?
Spain. I think flight from here to Spain is within an hour.
Oh, okay. Then you're very close. That's cool. Yeah. And somebody's asking that what kind of part-time jobs are accessible to international students. We're gonna talk about this in okay, like we're gonna talk about it because I don't want us to waste so much time. It's we have 3 minutes to be kicked out. Yeah, but thank you so much, Sir Steven, for doing this for us. And to everybody that has joined us, thank you so much. I'm still bringing Scholar Steven to this stage. Sir Steven, do you
Um,
agree that you will be
and
coming,
Steven, not Sir Steven. I think Steven is okay.
Mr. Steven?
Not Mister, please. Don't use Mister for me, please.
Okay, Scholar Steven, Dr. Steven. You have to
Ah,
accept one. Sir Steven, Mr. Steven, Master Steven, Boss Steven. Which one? I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, thank you, Steven, so much for joining us in today's live section. We really appreciate your time. And please, I would still love to bring you back to this live session to share more with us. That was really yeah, we'll talk about this. Somebody's asking a question. Where are you since morning, Daniel? Like you're just joining. But yes, subscribe so that you would be notified when we have our next section, when we're going to be bringing Scholar Steve into this live session. Thank you so much to everybody that has joined. And thank you so much, Thank you so much, Steven, for joining us. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for taking time. You're so like amazing. I just like reached out and you're like, oh yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. All right, so that would be the end of our section. See you guys.